Yes, indeed.
Yes. If you have a chance to take a look around afterwards, I'd be more than glad to show you a bit about the place. But more importantly, we're here to see Tim. Tim wants to be your next representative in the 8th District, and he's got a good start on it. I've been talking to him for 2 or 3 days. I'm impressed so far. Go for it.
Thanks.
All yours. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for coming out tonight. I wanted to thank especially my family and friends that have shown up today. My daughters are not here. My wife is, they're traveling back tonight, so I kind of missed them. Lily and I and the dog are a little lonely in the house. I also wanted to thank Aegis for letting us use this facility. I toured it yesterday with Mark, and I'll tell you, I am very impressed with the lighting and air quality here. I think I actually may move in after the election. So
we have a place for you.
Yeah, it'll probably be the one downstairs. So I wanted to hold this informal town hall today for a couple of reasons. Specifically, I wanted an opportunity to speak about the many things I've learned over the last few months as I've gotten into this race. The many stories that folks have shared with me, I'm amazed. I'm humbled with what people are dealing with in this economic climate. We just take that time to listen. I'm always amazed how much we can learn, and I'm hoping that, over this time I can even learn a lot more from a lot of your wisdom and experience. After years of working in the private business sector, and after seeking my first political office over here in Yarrow Point, I soon realized that there's much that can be offered by many of us that have run and managed businesses. In fact, I feel very strongly that we can make even a broader impact by providing a voice for those outside the political establishment. I've spent much of my time revisiting and reflecting upon the writings of our forefathers and Constitution in an effort to find those answers relating to the core principles for which our country was founded. I decided it was time to step forward to make a difference as a congressional representative. My core platform issues, which I'm releasing and talking with, are economic recovery, fiscal responsibility, education, securing American interest, and healthcare reform. Tonight, I wanted to specifically talk about my economic recovery plan, which will be formally released to my website. This includes steps for creating jobs and getting people back to work. The public debate has really focused too much on the fragile banking sector and not enough on our consumers and businesses. Banks are just the information system. We can't run a complex division of labor without an information system to help us cooperate with one another. We need banks and credit. But banks are not the economy. They are its plumbing. To restore people restore people to work and to move our economy, we need to put people into jobs. Doing productive work for the information system, we call our banks to be much used at all. So we need to create jobs, and nearly 2/3 of those jobs are created by small business. For a small business to create jobs requires that its owners risk their own money. And they don't have much of that at the moment. Even if they did, they need credit to pay people during the period of time between hiring someone, putting them to work, and getting paid by their customers. But banks are not lending. And small businesses are going under every day because they cannot get the credit for their payrolls even if they want to hire someone. We have to make it easy to hire, and hiring requires credit. So I'm recommending that the government triple the existing credit line of receivables for any privately held company. Most businesses borrow against receivables. But to get credit, a business must sell and deliver goods. This rewards businesses very heavily for putting people to work. The Small Business Administration should lend roughly 2 times the current formula and should reduce their time of funding by 60%. The time the SBA takes to process loans adds little to no value to the process and is stifling business development. So this plan is, we're going to be laying this out on our website. This is a comprehensive plan, very well detailed around economic recovery. You can look that up as we release that onto the internet. With that, I wanted to conclude by saying how grateful I am to be living in this country. We live in a large and beautiful land. Our freedoms are unequaled anywhere in the world. We have vast resources, fertile farmland, and a tempered climate. Our colleges and universities are the envy of the world. And we have talented and hardworking citizens who over the generations have made our country what it is today. But to whom much is given, much will be asked. We feed starving people in other countries. We supply foreign aid to underdeveloped countries and offer help after disasters. We educate our students along with those from places with inferior education systems. We open our borders to all, including the oppressed and the poor. We share our knowledge and technology. We send vast numbers of our soldiers into battle and to protect foreign citizens against injustice and oppression. We do this willingly and with a strong sense of responsibility. The buildings of our nation's capital are built of marble and granite to endure the rigors of time and the elements and stand proud as symbols of our country's strength. But now we are seeing cracks in the marble as greed and lack of fiscal responsibility have driven us into the deepest recession since the 1930s. We are seeing fissures in the granite, and as we find ourselves deeply mired in 2 wars, we stood by blindly while our borders were overrun by millions of people entering illegally. We have allowed our primary education system to fail to a new low and have released huge amounts of technology without adequate safeguards against cyber warfare. This must all stop. I believe it's time for new leadership to concentrate on these problems and not the agenda of corporate lobbyists and special interest groups. Further limit the size of government, and to be a true voice of the American people, we need to avoid future entanglements, further limit the size of governments, and adhere to the principles of the Constitution. I'm honored to have given this opportunity to express my view, and hope as I continue to visit the district, I'll be able to gather more information and listen and get more, into what people need to solve. With that, I wanted to open up with 2 of my speakers tonight who have been very dear to me and advising me. The first one is Kurt Doolittle, the founder and CEO of Ascentium, who will say a few things about job creation and the economic recovery. And secondly, we have Seton Daly, a transactional attorney who specializes in data governance and cybersecurity. This is a major platform issue because it covers all the areas where our lives of security are involved. Kurt, if you want to take a moment.
Thank you, Tim.